you might want to meet, and we'll do it. And we've been doing that since 2017 with projects on every blockchain. We'd love the opportunity to do it for you. We'd bring Eddie. We could invite soon. We'll bring back whoever you want and have the conversation. But what's important is that you send the message now and don't forget to do it, because right now we're going to pivot to talk to D.Energy, and Shafi is going to tell us specifically about some of the things he was teasing earlier about what D.Energy is working on. The first thing I always start with, because we know we've got people that tune in for the first time, Shafi, is what is D.Energy right off the top?
Okay, so D.Energy is a layer one blockchain that's running on a consensus mechanism that we have labeled proof of energy. And it validates our nodes to stake renewable energy in order to power the network.
I love it.
Simple form.
What's that?
I said that's just a high level explanation of it. Obviously, it's a full integrated ecosystem, so there's so many more moving parts. But yeah, so an overview, we're a layer one. We're L1 blockchain that EVM based, and we are completely powered by renewable energy. And our nodes, our blockchain, the consensus mechanism, proof of energy, doesn't just offset the energy one-to-one. So when the network uses 1 megawatt of electricity, 1,000 megawatts offset. So it's a regenerative loop. So we are always offsetting more energy than that's being used.
I love to see that, because it's also in a space, blockchain and crypto, that is going to be one of those things that's going to drive more energy uses because of this perceived adoption that's coming, but also the compute required. So where would you say that where does D.Energy fit in what currently kind of feels like a fairly busy space? I would say on the broader picture, I'm not sure if it's as busy in blockchain, but where would you say D.Energy fits within that sector?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think the current bull run and the way the market's just gaining kind of mass adoption, I feel like with the ETFs and stuff like that, it is a super cycle. I feel like we're undergoing. So I think most projects, and we've seen a lot of meme coins, and we've seen a lot of these kind of things pop up. I think most projects or most blockchains, the way they differentiate, the way Solana is kind of stands out from Ethereum. I think TPS was the one metric that everyone transactions per second, and so the level of innovation between these blockchains is not that is to me is quite minimal, like the differentiation of it. And I think our proof of energy and us having a utility from the get-go, enabling peer-to-peer trading of renewable energy directly from our wallets, gives us an instant use case. And I feel like most blockchains go out, they build this blockchain and have this ledger and have all of these, really interesting smart contracts without a utility, without an actual use case. Like, meme coins on Solana, it's great for a bit of fun, and it's gambling or whatever you want to call it. It's TikTokable and Instagrammable and all of that stuff, and but is it really an investment, or is it really a use case? I don't know. I don't think meme coins are really a use case. That's my personal opinion. I mean, other people may have others. Ethereum, I think Ethereum's been useful. I think allowing smart contracts and just as an important thing. But what we're doing is specifically tapping into that paradigm of AI, data centers, electric cars, iPhones, and all of these kind of smart technologies that we are planning to use, and maybe delivering through autonomous vehicles and all of the kind of technology to come. This is the blockchain for that paradigm, and that's what we specifically built. So yeah, that's how we differentiate ourselves, and that's how we see us standing out from the crowd.
So in your opinion, then, why does the blockchain need to be sustainable? Because I thought Ethereum had already solved that with proof of stake. We remember the switchover they made. What's it need to be sustainable for you?
So yeah, I mean, that's a good point. Proof of work, Bitcoin, it uses up as much energy as I think Argentina. I don't know what country it uses up the same energy of. So Ethereum was following suit, and the negative, impacts with all of the smart contracts being deployed on it and the energy consumption, they moved to proof of stake. And I think if you've seen one incremental improvement, there will be other evolutions, and the whole point of progress is to have evolutions of things. And I think proof of stake, having billions of dollars staked in Ethereum for a network, that's a missed opportunity. If that billions of dollars was staked in renewable energy, that would fix our climate issue and instantly allow technologies like AI to scale. And so by changing what we're staking on our chain and making it energy, we're actually, like I said, we're making that fuel for this economy. Like we were saying, in a digital world, the fuel should be renewable energy. This is what we're doing essentially.
Well, on that note, I gotta press you on something here, Shafi. I gotta press you on something. You've said before that Bitcoin could hit zero. Do you seriously think that could happen? And what would render that sort of thought to be expressed out loud?
So, I mean, obviously, it's a bit of tongue in cheek, but I mean, Bitcoin started at zero. I mean, let's all remember that, right? And Bitcoin is a non-docs project. We don't know who created Bitcoin. And then when I start thinking about the fundamentals of Bitcoin, and it's the best performing asset class probably ever. Like, I don't know, like, in the time, I don't know if you look at its growth ratio or whatever, I think it's ever. We don't know who created it. Mainstream finance has accepted it. The first few wallets, the Genesis block and the coins that went into those first, we don't know who controlled those wallets. There's billions of dollars in those. So to me, these are red flags. So if you want to ask me, I can say, yes, I can see it going to zero. Who's to say if some mad world incident was to happen and it was traced to a Bitcoin wallet, suddenly governments can ban it. And they say, how can they ban it? It's decentralized. Well, you connect to your Bitcoin through a wallet. That wallet connects through the internet. It connects through an IP address. I mean, it's not that decentralized as you may think. If people want to shut you down using your Bitcoin, they can do that. So I feel like a lot of blanket terms have been used in this whole decentralization and Bitcoin. And I feel like people not actually looking at the real fundamentals and the facts of it. So Bitcoin, for me, I love Bitcoin. I was an early adopter of Bitcoin. It's the one that began this journey for me. So, and it's always going to have its place in the kind of journey of this kind of evolution of blockchain and this kind of space. But yeah, I mean, so I do see, who's to say if something bad was to happen, it couldn't go to zero, or governments wouldn't render it illegal because of some reason, or the energy consumption of it, or anything could happen in the future. So I think as a short to medium term investment, it's great. Long term, I don't know. The paradigm that I envision in a world of AI, I don't think AI would want something to be so inefficient to be working and being the financial tool of the world. If AI was to manage everything in the world, the first thing AI would want to do is probably shut off Bitcoin, saying this is a point, this is a dinosaur. Why are we running this still?
That's hilarious. If AI had the opportunity to do it all over again. So what do you think then? Because that's a segue into what do you think in general about AI? Because if you think that Bitcoin could potentially go to zero, is that something you think AI would play a role in? Is that a technological issue or what?
Well, I mean, I think we said it earlier. I mean, I see eventually AI replacing 99.9% of the jobs and the things that we do, and we're going to start benefiting from that. Humans will be able to take, their time into their own hands and maybe do more. And then when you start envisioning that, like the only thing that we will be responsible for, like I said, is just to make sure there's enough electricity being produced in a clean way to keep all of the AIs doing their thing and giving us a great life, So Bitcoin doesn't fit in that model to me. Bitcoin is more of the kind of drill, baby, drill and pull out gas and oil guzzling, and it's an energy guzzling technology that's storing the value of some coins, 21 million coins, and it doesn't need to use as much energy it's using. So eventually, I think we'll get to a point where we'll realize that, and then we're going to have to flip out of that model. But I don't think it will get that far personally. But again, these are my personal opinion. But we're going off the topic. So AI, my future vision for AI is literally replacing all the jobs. And like I said, our ultimate goal will be just to fuel it.
Well, I mean, I got a kind of two-part question here because we're just talking about AI. Is there plans or is there already integrations with D.Energy to integrate AI applications or use cases within it? And then the second question of that is obviously this is going to be energy intensive, but also energy mitigating, right? That's what this blockchain is all about. But energy is a new currency. Like, what does that mean? So can you kind of sum up those two thoughts?
Sorry, I've got very loud traffic. I'm in the middle of the city right now. Sorry. So So I'll start by saying, energy being the new currency is what we're saying. Like, whether it be wearable devices that pay you and incentivize you for moving and burning watts, or it's actually generating watts from renewable energy. The world that we live in, it's about movement and energy, and we built a blockchain that enables that to be accounted for, and you can then build an economy from that. So what we've labeled our system, or the economy that D.Energy is building, is the energy-backed economy. And in the energy-backed economy, renewable energy is the currency, and that's what we mean by energy is the new currency. And for AI, a blockchain protocol like ours allows AI to scale. By basically running a D.Energy node, the AI data center would be meeting all of its ESG targets, offsetting all of its energy, and essentially the AI, which you asked, do we have an AI? So we have an internal AI that evaluates all our nodes, how efficient they are, how well they are managing their inputs and outputs, and all of the variables that we have. And it also does all of the ESG scoring to make sure, because our nodes we are KYC, KYB approved. We're not, if you're running an energy node, then we need to know who you're dealing with. If you're buying and selling energy, you can't be non-docs. Through mobile wallets, you'll be able to buy and sell energy without knowing or knowing who your identity. But to engage on a serious level within our ecosystem, everything needs to be transparent and clear, because we're dealing with energy. These are actual resources and licensed products that you need to be able to trade. So yeah, to answer your question, I see D.Energy being a layer one blockchain that supplies an AI digital world with transactions and allows it to scale and gives it all of the capabilities that blockchain can provide to that.
So environmentalism can be kind of a polarizing topic, which is unusual, but it's true. And there are a lot of companies that would want to explore Web3, but maybe they get stuck in these types of policies. Why are you choosing to take on both Web3 and environmentalism at the same time? Because some companies would choose just one or the other.
I think there's a synergy there. I think completely. I think by making sustainability, adding clean energy, making adding it to a distributed ledger, and making everyone engage in this kind of environment, I think it's a win-win situation. It fixes. I think we were talking about carbon earlier, right? So the carbon issue goes away if 90% of the world gets electrified. So if cars become electric, planes become electric, if things are electrified, like, I don't know, places where we were previously burning, electric generators to run a hospital in an emergency, if it was electric generators that were running there, like a Tesla power cell or something like that, we're removing all the carbon from the world. So that's basically the way I see this happening out. So that's what you were saying about the finance side of it, and this is where all the investments will be pouring into. So this is the new paradigm.
Well, I love to hear it. I love to see people not only, because we've all seen the last year and a half, especially, and I'm not calling out, it's just a necessary part of any market, I guess, but the token deployers really took a huge focus of making a lot of people think everything in crypto is just about how quick can I make money, or how quick can I extract money. And then we got people like you, Shafi, and your company and your protocol here with D.Energy that's actually looking about positive impact, which I really love to see businesses out there that are considering, whether you agree with it or not, people that have in their mind, this is our mission, we want to have positive impact. I got to commend you on that. So I'd love to give you an opportunity while we have all these people tuned in here right now, and I want to thank everybody that is tuned in. Make sure you head over to D.Energy Chain on X. Again, it's D.Energy Chain, just like it's spelled up there in the top, D.Energy Chain on X. And you can find them on their website at D.Energy. That's it. You don't need a .com. It's D.Energy. But while we got all these people here, talk us through a little bit what you got coming up, and if you have any alpha you'd like to drop, if you have anything on the roadmap that's coming up you'd like to let people know, and people can follow along and pay attention to it.
So yeah, we have a public sale literally I think 2 weeks from now, the first time what coins will be introduced to the public domain, and so look out for that. It's a wave one, so we're doing it in waves. So in wave one there'll be a certain supply that will be available, so definitely try and get involved, because what coins will be something which won't be readily available until we get the centralized listing exchange. So, and that will be shortly after. So maybe another weeks after. So yeah, stay engaged, stay part of the journey, and join the community. I think what we're doing and what we are aiming to achieve is really profound, and I think it will have a lasting effect. And the fundamentals are right with our project. We have good people working with us, and I believe everyone understands the bigger vision of what we're trying to achieve, and that's why every conversation becomes very pleasant, like the one we've had today.
I agree. It's been very pleasant. I think there's a degree of nobility towards trying to make environmental change because it's for everyone, not just you. You get a lot of blockchain projects where it's about what they're doing, but this is a bigger thing. Thank you, Shafi, for bringing D.Energy to one of the roundtable shows here. We appreciate your choice to sponsor here and bring the conversation to our listeners. And they love conversations like this. But you know what I love? People like Eddie and Asun who pull up for the panel and fill out these shows, because we can't have these shows without people's opinions. Asun and Eddie are available on X. If you look at their names right now, you can find them on X. Follow them over there in other spaces and read their content. Eddie, thank you. Asun, thank you for pulling up. Have a good weekend, you two. And the team at IBC will not be taking the weekend off. No, sir. We put news out all weekend long on multiple channels and multiple formats, including the 69 Minutes that comes out every Sunday with your breaking news from politics, sports, crypto, and around the world. And you can stay tuned for breaking news from me and Kelly and the rest of the hosts here at IBC. So if anything unfolds over the weekend, you'll see the two of us back on Spaces again. But for me and Kelly, this is going to be Friday afternoon. Shafi, thank you very much. Kelly, you can wrap this one out, bro. I appreciate you.
Well, you know what? I just love, again, I just want to reemphasize, I love seeing teams out there in any aspect of the world that they go to follow through with not only consideration or intention, but building a team and a mission towards having positive impact. You know, you asked earlier, Pulse, about what sort of energy you'd like to see. I said we should have some form of act of kindness energy, that the more acts of kindness you do, you get some sort of positive impact. But that's what is already part of the golden rule, right? So I'm glad we talked about this. It was big. We're here with D.Energy. So this is Big D.Energy Space. Today, we got Shafi here. Thank you for being here with us. We got L2, Eddie. Thank you for your contributions as well. Always love hearing your thoughts, and Asun, always with the great takes. Shafi, do you have any final things you'd like to say before we wrap?
No, thank you guys. Absolute pleasure to speak with you, and look forward to our next conversation.
Absolutely. Everybody, you have a wonderful weekend. It is Friday. The markets never close, but that doesn't mean you can't get out there and touch some grass, hug a puppy, kiss a friend, go out there, live your life, and get back here for the next Mario Nawfal Crypto Daily. We'll see you in the next one. Adios, everybody.